What's going on, everybody? Lone Wolf 2864, and I don't know if you can tell or not by my voice, but I'm once again under the weather, feeling a little bit sick. Had a big winter storm come through the first of last week and made national news, and I'm sure you've all seen pictures of trucks and cars all stranded out on the interstates and looking like DayZ, but I survived, luckily. And here I am to make this gameplay video for you guys. So back on topic here, as you can tell, I'm using a DMR here in this video, and that kind of coincides with the topic that I was going to discuss today, which was the big January 30th patch that DICE put out, and just going to go over some topics that were tweaked in that patch and some things that we are still expecting to come, including the Second Assault DLC, which the Second Assault weapons are already patched into the game. Of course, the only one that you can unlock at this time is the AS Val, which you can unlock simply by riding in either the attack or the Little Bird choppers for 10 minutes of actual gameplay, and then you also need 10 squad vehicle repairs. So it's fairly simple to unlock that. I unlocked it in one round, so very excited to see the AS Val return, and just from the limited gameplay experience that I've had with it so far, it seems like a very viable weapon. But back onto the topic here of DMRs, they have been tweaked pretty significantly in that now it is no longer a 4-shot kill at any range for these weapons. It has been increased. The damage has been increased on all of the DMRs. They still have their own separate damage model for each one, but the overall damage output has been increased to where it takes only 3 shots now to get a kill. They also increased the accuracy penalty for sustained fire. Where, you know, if you're firing really rapid fire shots, typically your second and third shots would not land on target most of the time. They've kind of increased the chances of your ability to take follow-up shots now and be more accurate with those, although just from some of the gameplay I've had with these weapons, it's still kind of hit and miss there. It's probably just me, and I'm not very good with the DMR. But I can tell a pretty significant improvement with the weapon overall. And you see here I'm using the RFB. I'd say at this point I still haven't unlocked the Ace 53 or the Scar H sniper variants. So I can't comment on those, although I know the Scar H seems to be a pretty good fan favorite. But from the ones that I've played with so far, I would say the RFB and the Mark II are probably still my 2 favorite DMRs. Slap a heavy barrel and an angled foregrip on those, and you can do some work. Some other changes, though, that they did implement with this most recent patch is the black screen when you spawn in. Before, it was just like an eternity before you actually saw your screen pop up, and the whole time you're sitting there on a blank screen or a black screen, your character is actually spawned in the game, and the enemy can see your character and can take advantage of that and pretty much kill you instantly before you even spawn in on your screen, or before you can even see what's going on. So they've actually significantly reduced that amount of time the black screen is up to somewhere around, I think, like 0.1 seconds, all the way down from like a full second. I mean, it's night and day. It's a big advantage, or a big improvement, I should say, over what it was, and it's a much needed improvement. And if I'm not mistaken, they had something similar to this back at the launch of Battlefield 3, and I don't know why or who thought it would be a good idea to put that back in for Battlefield 4, but once again, as you can tell, they've had to patch that out, and it's just so much better now. So hopefully we won't have to deal with that in any future Battlefield games. The crosshair glitch and the hit marker glitch. Also, they say they've greatly reduced that, the chance of your crosshairs or your hit markers disappearing. I know I ran into that from time to time, so excuse me, hopefully they've got that situated. Also, they've added a headshot icon on the kill card, which you might see here a few times in my gameplay, just to let you know that if somebody headshots you when they kill you with like one shot or something, it'll let you know that it was a legit kill and not a one-shot kill bug. So you'll actually see the little skull with the crosshair on it up at the top, letting you know that they killed you with a headshot. A few other minor tweaks here and there. They say that they've tried their best, I guess, to work around the so-called netcode issues, trying to tighten that up and smooth out some of the network glitches. I can't really tell any significant changes in that department, although I will say over the past few weeks or months or so, I've kind of started to enjoy the game a little bit more than I did at launch, and kind of starting to improve here and there. So I don't know if it's just a deal where I'm kind of getting used to the way things are in Battlefield 4 versus 3, or if the gameplay is actually smoothing out somewhat. But I still have those weird moments every once in a while where you sink about half a round or half a mag into a guy and he takes no damage, turns around and shoots you in the face. Or my favorite, guy spawns out of a sniper, jumps out of a transport helicopter, and I'm point blank in his chest. He's facing 90 degrees across from me, not even looking at me, and no scopes me on my screen. So that was always fun. But just little things like that are still, trying to be worked around, but nothing that can't be fixed, I don't think, long term, hopefully anyway. And for you AMD users out there, some pretty good news, or pretty exciting news this week, was the announcement that AMD is releasing the newest driver, which supports the Mantle plugin, or the Mantle renderer. And DICE has already implemented that into the game and gotten that put out for you guys. So as far as I know, with the release of the newest driver, I think it was yesterday, Mantle should be fully supported in Battlefield 4 now. I actually haven't seen any gameplay results or performance results of Mantle yet, other than a pre-release walkthrough that I saw that wasn't a final build or a final driver. So I don't know how accurate that is compared to what it is now. But there was a pretty good increase there. Nothing severely, like that would make me want to immediately drop Intel and NVIDIA and just swap over to AMD, but there was definitely an improvement over just the stock DirectX renderer and an AMD card. So I'm happy to see that. Anything that can improve people's overall performance and gameplay experience is always a welcome thing, in my opinion. Now I guess on to some things that we could look forward to here in the future that DICE is saying that they're looking to implement, and that is some tweaks to the grenade gameplay, or the different types of grenades in the game. I believe I saw where the RGO impact grenade, the M40 minis, or the V40 minis, excuse me, as well as the flashbangs are all going to see some pretty significant tweaks. They're talking about increasing the number of flashbangs and hand flares that you can carry from 2 to 3. And you can now have a total of 3 active hand flares, up from just 1 before. So if we didn't have enough strobes and epileptic seizure-inducing flares laying everywhere before, I guess we can have triple that now. So that's going to be fun to deal with. Also, they have increased the effectiveness, quote-unquote, I guess, of the flashbang. The full effect of the flash is going to be increased now. And trying to make that more of a viable option, I guess, for clearing rooms out and that sort of thing. Now the RGO impact grenades, its maximum damage is going to be increased from 67 up to 80, and but they're also reducing the range of the explosion, so meaning they're typically are trying to make it to where you have to get like a direct impact, I guess, or more of an accurate impact on a player to give them damage. So it's still not going to allow a one-hit kill but if you get a more direct hit on a guy, you're going to be doing upwards of 80 damage now instead of 67. So we'll see how that plays out. Now the V40 mini grenades, they're going to be decreasing the amount of damage, the maximum amount of damage that those put out, from 80 down to 60, and they're going to be decreasing the range at which the maximum damage is applied. You can still carry 3 of the V40 minis, and I think the most significant change here, the reason they're trying to balance this grenade, is more so on the hardcore side than it is on the normal core gameplay. So it'll still be a 2-shot kill or a 2-grenade kill. It's just trying, like I said, to balance that out as opposed to the main M67 grenade. So I just wanted to leave you guys with some chopper gameplay here today, and I've been itching to get back into a helicopter here and do some work and actually be useful to the team and to the objective. But as we all know, the current state of the helicopters, they're just very disappointing. But I'm not sure if the patch that was put out on the 30th included these tweaks or not. I think these may still be just in the works, but the blog post on Battlelog had talked about increasing the direct damage done by the secondary gunner cannon, and also increasing the direct damage of the Zuni rockets and the rate of fire on those rockets. So we'll see if that's actually going to be implemented when the second Assault DLC comes out, because like I said, I'm not sure. I don't believe it's been implemented yet, but I'm really looking forward to all of the tweaks that DICE have been proposing, and hopefully the game will just be improved a lot more as we go along and be more fun for everybody. But I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the patches, and I will catch you guys next time.